Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is preseason football on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we'll see the most valuable player of 2018, Patrick Mahomes, and the Kansas City Chiefs, as they match up with the great Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, this is such a special place. You drive through the streets of Green Bay, no tall buildings, quaint houses, and then boom, right there in the middle of the neighborhood is iconic Lambeau Field. We all know this community lives for its Packers, and the green and gold came out of the tunnel a short time ago, and it was loud. We are ready for football, so are they, as the Packers get set to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm Brandon Godden. As always, by my side is Charles Davis. So the final tune-up for the regular season, and probably not going to really see much starter action out here in this one, are we?
You're right. Not much in the way of starters, key veterans, key backups, but the guys who have to make the team, struggling for those few spots that are open, we'll see them the entire time. But you and I both know this as well. There will be a surprise cut or two from guys who didn't actually play in this game tonight thinking that they were safe.
Set to go in a rematch of what would come to be known later as the first Super Bowl. The Chiefs and Packers are underway. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers take the field. Aaron Rodgers at the helm. 2019 marking his 12th season as the Packers starter. 15th season overall. Last year for Rodgers, 25 touchdown passes, just 2 interceptions. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Here's Rodgers to throw. And this is caught. It's Jimmy Graham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And an alley to run. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first.
But that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 46. And they try to sweep to Jones. And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 41, Rodgers, and he finds his tight end, Graham. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 18.
Brandon, unless my eyes deceive me, I think they found a matchup that they're trying to exploit here, don't you? I mean, that's the second time they've gone to him here on this drive.
Yeah, opening drive. It's a tone setter, right? I think they're going to be looking his way a lot.
Yeah, and I think that the way things are going right now, they like him as a featured receiver. Let's see what kind of adjustments the defense is going to make to try and take that away.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line.
We got this.
Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again.
And while we're seeing more and more of these plays come from the college game into the NFL, and that one, it was run with great success, how about the evolution of the offensive linemen? We're seeing less and less big guys who can't move and more guys who are a lot more mobile and can get out in front of that type of a play.
2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Second and goal from the 6 this time. Rodgers going to throw to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd and goal. Quickly now, here's a look at the Green Bay offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Can this defense get the stop on the opening drive? Here's 3rd and goal. The third-year back from BYU, Jamal Williams with a carry. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Give him 4 yards there, but they're still well short of the goal line with fourth down now looming.
So a decision to be made. Is this something, opening drive maybe they discussed before the game?
They had to, and that's the responsible way of getting ready for a game. You go through situations with your staff, you go through scenarios, and you read your team. If we're in this spot and we're moving the ball well, is this a time to go for it, or is it a time to be a little bit cautious? I think in this case, he feels good about his team. He should go for it.
So it'll remain to be seen how many drives this unit gets in, this being the preseason, but here they start with 3 points.
Yeah, I don't know that we'll actually see them anymore. They got 3 points on the board, 1 drive here in preseason. In this game, baseball caps, NFL approved, of course, for everyone.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here are the Chiefs now under their veteran head coach, Andy Reid. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League, Patrick Mahomes, in his 3rd season now out of Texas Tech. And few players have had the spotlight focused on them quite like Patrick Mahomes. But this is a guy that says he wants that attention. He's okay with a target on his back. We saw how electric he can be in 2018, and he wants to continue that into 2019 and beyond. Mahomes going to pull it out and keep it himself. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Preston Smith comes in for the sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now Mahomes. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Partney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down. Well, last year, Chris Conley was the 3rd option at receiver for Kansas City. He shipped off to Jacksonville. Now they're hoping that Robinson can help fill that void. And Andy Reid has said that he and Mahomes are developing a great rapport, hoping to improve upon the 22 times they connected last season.
Yellow.
Now a man who really came on late last year, it's Damian Williams. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one good for 12 yards and a Kansas City 1st. Well, CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
Here's a guy on his 4th franchise in 2 years, Carlos Hyde. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. Let's hope it's not anything that'll keep him out of the opener. We'll be right back.
Yellow.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Mahomes going to throw. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Williams. And a short gain here as he gets it up only to about the 6. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Here we go.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. He gets this to Devontae Adams. And they'll get him down up past the 15-yard line. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. So a little breathing room now. 1st and 10 at the 17. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Now a play fake. Rodgers. It's caught here by Adams. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They'll run on first down. Williams. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
You ain't going nowhere. Two times. Hey.
They stick to the ground game on first down. It's Williams. Darren Lee there to get him down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu, and he'll bring this one back to the 29.
That was a really nice interception. I think it illustrates the differences between playing man and playing zone. When you're in man, all you're focused on is the receiver in front of you. But when you're in zone, you're allowed to read the quarterback's eyes and go to the ball. That's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Following the penalty, it's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
Throwing on second and long. Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On first down, Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a second and 13.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Now on second and 13, Mahomes. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. And let's get a look at the Green Bay defense.
Safety Adrian Amos was a free agent in 2018, and division rival Green Bay took note and brought him to Wisconsin to patrol the center of their defense and also drop down near the line of scrimmage and make some big-time plays in the running game.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Kevin King with a pick, and he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line. First quarter, and now he already has 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he's got to guard against being tentative from this point forward, though. He's got to still make the right reads, make the proper throws. I've seen guys in this league throw 4 interceptions in a game and win. He's got to understand, put it behind you, keep pressing forward.
Number 12 back out there. Aaron and his Packer teammates set to begin their drive. And he had to be pleased at the start of the last drive. The offense was moving, but certainly not pleased at the end result, an interception.
And every team we ever talk to at some point in the conversation, the coach, player, someone talks about, you know, we've got to finish. We've got to finish off drives, finish off the game. There's an example there of not finishing, doing everything right, but not getting the result that you need.
The linebacker, Anthony Hitchens, there on the stop.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 59. Squeeze, double up.
Throwing on second and 8. Rodgers. And that's complete to Adams. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. 22 yards there, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They'll run on first down. Williams. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. Throwing on second and 8. Rodgers got a man. That's Allison. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Rodgers to Allison, good for a Green Bay first down.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
They'll try and run. This is Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll try again on second and goal after going backwards to the 12. To throw, it's Rodgers. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. That catch good for 8, but still, it's third and goal now. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. On the ground, this is Williams. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to bring up a fourth and goal. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So 2 first-quarter field goal attempts for him, and he's converted on both.
I like the positive right there. 2 for 2. Got the points on the board. The negative side is they didn't score touchdowns. And, of course, going forward in this game, that's going to be the aim. And hopefully he'll be kicking extra points instead.
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Preston Smith there on the stop. The last run good for 2. Here's second and 8. Mahomes now to throw. Looking left side for Watkins, and he's got him. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain there of 21 yards.
Yellow. We won it. Come to my
On first down, Williams. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on first and 10. They'll run it with Williams. And this time the yards won't come so easy, as they'll in fact tackle him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be second and 11. Six 0 our score after 1.
Gator.
The first throw for Henney, the veteran backup. That's complete to Sterling. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 17-yard line.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense, and reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? That sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 12 more yards there and another first down. Blocking at the point of attack there was very strong. He had a couple of running lanes.
And I never want to overlook the offensive line, but that's what they get paid to do. How about the quarterback? Everyone thinks all he's going to do is throw the football. His movement and deception can help a running game as well.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Ready?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, but it'll be second and goal. The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. Henney. And it's caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's third and goal.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And Hyde will not get there as they force him to the ground shy of the marker. Well, let's see what they do. They're knocking on the door here in the second quarter.
And you know what you look at on your play sheet? Your two-point conversion plays, because you've drawn up a number of them in today's football. You don't just have 1 or 2 for the game. You have more like 6 or 7. Which one do you like here? Because that's essentially what you're going for right now. That spot of the field, call one of those and go get 6.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
The tackle made by Xavier Williams.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. It's a gain of 16 and a first down for the green and gold.
Partner, that's excellent timing right there. Breaking off the route and being able to hit it right when he stops.
They'll run on first down. It's Williams. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Dorian O'Daniel, third-round pick in 2018, made the tackle.
Let's get it.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Kaiser. A throw caught by Kumaro. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen. It turned into a really nice play.
And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. Third down turns to first with that 5-yard pickup.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. Williams. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Kaiser. And that'll be incomplete. By the way, as we expected, most of the starting units out here in the 2nd quarter. So get your 2 deep, your 3 deep, your 4 deep ready for this one.
If you have a particular favorite who wasn't a high draft pick or is an undrafted free agent trying to make the team, this is the time to watch him play and give it his best shot, because most of the starters, you're exactly right, they'll be out of the game watching the rest of the way.
A good pick up there of 20 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
Come on, set. 60 out long. Tight end right. Tight end right. Hey,
They go back to the ground with Williams. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. That'll be enough to keep the drive moving forward. Another 1st down on the pickup of 5 yards.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Kaiser now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over, and he's got his guys a 1st down. A give to Williams, running right. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. Shavarius Ward in on the tackle. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Kaiser. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. And, yes, they want the points, so they will decline the penalty. No question there.
You don't think they spent a couple of seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all. When you put the ball in the end zone on a takeaway, take the points and keep moving.
On is Mason Crosby for the point after. And it's up and good to make the score 13-3. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it ends with a Packers touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now Carlos Hyde gears up to take the field again. And for him, it's been pretty limited involvement down on the scoreboard. Maybe time to turn to this guy.
And you know me well. Winning games to me means starting with the running game and continuing to press the running game. Maybe you go away from him a little bit now, but the bottom line is he hasn't touched it enough to make a difference.
Well, they haven't established that running game yet. The question is, will they?
On the ready. 51. Here we go, here we go.
They They start the drive with Hyde. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
When you think of Mike Daniels, you think of strength. Hard to knock off the football, but surprising quickness and ability to move and evade people. How about that play there?
Well, he can squat 600 pounds, so that's how he caught people's attention coming into the league, and he caught our attention right there.
Now on 2nd and 13. Henne, there's the first NFL catch for the former Georgia Bulldog, Mecole Hardman.
And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The Chiefs on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Now Henne. Throwing right, and that's complete. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Henne now, 4 of 5 since coming on. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, check.
On the counter, this is Hyde. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Ready to break. 44 is the mic. Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Get it.
On 2nd and 12, Henne. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The Chiefs on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
He'll look to throw. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And back to the ground. Hyde. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. He's got his man. That's Hardman. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So another 3rd down conversion, and now they've got a 1st and goal. And he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
Second and goal from the 6 this time.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Second and 6. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. Third down.
70.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Now a run with Hyde. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. This is a long drive. Offensively, wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Butker, what a pickup he's been for Kansas City the last 2 years. Remember, he was drafted by Carolina to be the eventual successor to Graham Gano. That didn't pan out. Casey got him as a free agent. He's been really good.
Yeah, Gano said, oh no, I'm keeping my job. But Butker found his home in Kansas City, a franchise record for points scored in his first 2 seasons.
After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Well, they've had success, at least so far, here in the second quarter. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another first and 10.
Tight ends on the Ringo. Everyone's got 4 down.
Now Williams. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. A loss of 2 there. Second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Ready. Go to base. Check. Hey, watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On second and 12, Kaiser. They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down. So now first and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 47. The busy night continues for Williams. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be second and 12. Run coverage, excellent there from the defensive end position.
How many times do we sit with coaches and they talk about a base defensive end, a guy who can anchor and play with leverage? We just saw a great example of it. And how about the bonus, tackling the runner for a loss?
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight right.
On second and 12, Kaiser. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll be brought down with a first down as the tackle's made at the Chiefs' 24-yard line. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Tight end to the right, boy. Tight end to the right. Move.
2nd and 5 now. Kaiser firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. 7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Now carry number 20 of the game. Here's Williams. And he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Williams. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
On 2nd and 9. Kaiser. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Mercedes Lewis ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the 2nd quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the 2nd half.
Crosby connects on the extra point, and the lead now up to 14. So the drive goes 75 yards, 10 plays. And the result, a Green Bay score. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the 2nd. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. He's got his man on the crossing route. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Tight end right. We got to
Here's Hyde on the draw. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And no, it doesn't get there. Hits the crossbar, bounces back out. He had it online, but it comes up about a rotation short. So we are halfway through here in the final week of the preseason. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. One more half of football to get through before we say goodbye to the 2019 preseason. All 32 teams in action tonight. Then everyone will be required to cut down to 53 by 4 Eastern on Saturday. And we get it all started 1 week from tonight. The Packers and Bears from Soldier Field.
So it's the Packers set to receive the kick. They've got the lead as well as we are underway in the 3rd quarter. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road in just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play, because that's been an issue for them in this game. And now the third down throw incomplete as well. So coming up empty here to start the third quarter. Already 2 scores down. Got to be careful.
Yeah, I did notice, though, that the captain of the defense patted the quarterback on the helmet on his way out, pretty much letting him know, we know the pressure's on us. We're going to go out there and try and hold serve for you while you figure it out over here on the sidelines.
Officially, that'll be a 63-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Packer football here. First down and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Play fake. Kaiser. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's third down. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what did you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, he would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape.
Here's J.K. Scott now. And the way this offense has moved the ball, he hasn't been needed till here in the third. Fighting him off. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Here's Hyde as they begin on the ground. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Second and 9 now. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Packers will get the football at their own 20-yard line. Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
From the 24, Kaiser. This one caught by Davis. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 14 yards, good for a Packer 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun here. Williams. And shutting him off now open field. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the 1st.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
Right back to him on 1st down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 13 yards, 1st down, Packers.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
On 1st down, it's Williams. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Yeah, and that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. And we see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And they'll try to throw here. Kaiser. And his throw is incomplete. The veteran tight end Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. But now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Kaiser now. And the throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. 2nd and 13. This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Henny now, 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A give to Hyde out of the gun. Tyler Lancaster on the tackle. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Now this is fielded in the end zone. So a change of possession here on the punt. And this offense is going to take over at their own 20-yard line. Jamal Williams making his way back onto the field. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
Check 9, check 9. Man left, man left.
To throw is Kaiser. And Lewis has it, the tight end. And this will go as a gain of 7 as he gets it to the 30-yard line.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
4 down, 4 down, 4 down.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. Got what he needed for the first down with a gain of 2.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Tight ends Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. 4 down, 4 down.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. Working out of the gun. Here's Kaiser. Man open. It's St. Brown. He's got it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 13 yards, first down, Packers.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Kaiser now, perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Williams. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
Well, from my vantage point, that's just one bad play by the offensive line and a running back who's had a lot of good ones tonight.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's not going to be ticked off, nor is the offensive line, because to me it's a lot like a no-hitter, right? Pitcher's throwing a no-hitter, gives up a hit late. You're so close to accomplishing everything you want and don't quite get it done. They'll come back with a vengeance on the next play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. We'll call that a 47-yard punt, a return of just 3. And the Chiefs are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. And now here comes Kansas City.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. While he gets attended to, we'll step aside.
Ten Lobo. What tight end? 4 down, check, 4 down.
Now a fake on the give here as they try to run pass option. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he'll lose yardage here, back to the 15. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize it is broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the first down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Ready? 18 Gator. They gonna need some therapy after this. Ready?
First down, a run with Hyde. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Well, that's a guy, Carlos Hyde, who split time last year in Cleveland and Jacksonville after 4 seasons in San Fran. He was just under 1,000 yards his last 2 seasons with the Niners, but never really got into a groove last season. And then the Chiefs signed him to a 1-year deal back on March 9th.
And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 34-yard line.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 34. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down. From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. He's got it complete to Thompson. Give him 7 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play, one-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those too. You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. On the NFL scoreboard, they are in the 3rd now in New Orleans. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. DeShone Kizer making his way out to the huddle. And the passing game, I mean, look at the numbers. It's fallen off. When a team is struggling, sometimes you look at the quarterback. When the quarterback starts to struggle, who goes over and picks him up?
Yeah, that's always a big one, isn't it? Usually there's a quarterback whisperer somewhere. And what I mean by that is whether it's an assistant coach, whether it's one of his best friends on the team, someone that can get in his ear, get with him and say, all right, well, man, what do you need? What's going on here? So he's one person he can lean on. He's going to have to lean on that guy right now.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30.
Tight end's right. We got 4.
Kizer to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. That one, a 1st down pickup of 8. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this.
Now a 1st down carry, it's Williams. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Watch a slant. Watch a slant. Watch a slant.
On 2nd and 11 now. Kizer throwing left side, it's complete. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Give him 15 there, and the Packers have a 1st.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. That makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
Watch time. Tight end right. 4 down.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kizer. And he finds a man with a crossing route. And he will be taken down, but a big pickup there on what's going to be the final play of the 3rd quarter. Back now at Lambeau. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. It's Williams. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. Taking it in from the 20. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And the lead is up to 18 now. So the drive winds up going 75 yards in 7 plays. And to cap it off, a touchdown run of 20 yards. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Yeah, so the edge rushers, they're coming. That could have hit big. You're right. Good recognition defensively to snuff that one out. The last completion actually lost a yard, so now they'll need to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, a give to High. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down. A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Penny.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Andy Reid went for it, but it won't pan out. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Throwing on 2nd down, Kaiser. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to look really...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Jamal Williams ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Packers are able to stretch that lead out further. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Crosby with the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. The run there on first down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. Tackle made by Montrevious Adams. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Completes it to Hardman. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a first down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Here we go. Set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right.
Hey, we got ready. Ready.
They run with Hyde. He's been the bell cow tonight. And they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
30 base.
Tackle. Who got 17? Who got 17?
Now on 2nd and 13. Penny. They go screen pass to Hyde. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays. Here's Hyde. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I know you feel that.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. An excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime, but the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position. Now, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great.
Now they'll bootleg it with Kaiser. And he rifles one incomplete. You and I watched film yesterday, and you told me to watch his feet. Well, for whatever reason, his footwork just looked off on that throw.
And you always love it when an ex-defensive back talks quarterback mechanics, right?
Well, but you're good at it.
Well, I try, all right? I don't know how good I am, but it doesn't take much to tell. His mechanics are off a little bit, exactly what you described. Footwork, that led to the incompletion.
4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know, in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
After the made field goal, now Crosby will do the kickoff duties. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 2nd and 9, Penny. And his throw here is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the first as the tackle is made at the 33. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now he will have a first down here at about the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run high. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. He's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all, but the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. On 1st down, high. He'll get only a couple down to the 44.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
Every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. To Thompson on the draw. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. That's good for 9 yards as they convert on the 3rd down play.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Ready? 50, plant. Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense. Shoot.
Back to the ground. This time it's Hyde. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he's stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Now Henning. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. The 30, the 20, and they will score. It's a Packer touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Now Crosby for the point after.
And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And last time, decent field position through the pick six, obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. He'll look to throw. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. They blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
Now Hyde. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Shotgun handoff to Thompson. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. Call it a 4-yard pickup, but it leaves him a few inches short here on 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the 1st down. Close it out.
About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles. What does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. It's a gain of 16 and a 1st down for the green and gold. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Defensively, it was Tremont Smith with a tackle.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. From the 38, Kaiser. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. They'll run it with Williams. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the first down marker. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. Here's J.K. Scott now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And we'll see what he can do on the return. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Chiefs' offense about set to begin this drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
First down for the Chiefs. Solid chunk of yardage, 17 on the play.
Ready.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. He'll drop to throw. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well, great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
That's it. That's it. Big hit.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier.